to get my second mode of the major scale, and I'm going to stick with the G major scale, I now need to make A my tonic. I need to make the second note of the major scale my tonic, which in the key of G is A, and then all of the intervals are going to relate back to this new tonic. So if I make A my tonic now, which is represented in red, I would need to add it up an octave higher as well, because every scale you make starts on the tonic and goes up an octave to the next tonic, which is the exact same note name up an octave. So now I have A as my tonic, my starting and finishing point, and if I was to play this scale from A to A instead of from G to G like I did when I was playing the G major scale or G Ionian mode, I would have the A Dorian mode, and its parent major scale is G, meaning this A Dorian mode was built out of the G major scale. I just started on the second note of the G major scale to build my mode, and the second mode of the major scales is Dorian. And just to make it clear, none of these notes in here have changed. When I had the G major scale, I had G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. That was the G major scale. Now the A Dorian scale is the exact same thing, except it goes from A to A, but it has all the exact same notes in it. So you have to understand that about the modes. The modes share the exact same notes as the parent major scale. So you may be asking, what's the point of a mode if it's just the exact same notes as the parent major scale? It's because now you've created a new tonic, which is your new tonal center, which is what the sound revolves around. So now all the sound is revolving around this A note instead of the G note when it was the G major scale, which means if I was just playing the scale, I'd start on it and end on it. Now the A is also my strongest tone in that scale. And when I end on it, the scale actually sounds resolved now instead of ending on the G like I did with the G major scale. So what that does is changes the intervals. So now A is my tonic. These notes, their actual intervals compared to this new tonic have all changed. So this right here, this second note in the A Dorian mode, and this wouldn't matter what Dorian mode I'm playing because now we're just talking about intervals, so this could be anywhere on the fretboard, but it just happens to be that I have A as my tonic because I started from the G major scale. But this second note, which in A Dorian is B, it's a B note, is now a major second interval compared to this new tonic instead of being a major third compared to the tonic of the G major scale. So this is still a B note, but now for A Dorian, I'm relating this note right here, this B note, to this note as my tonic instead of the tonic of the major scale. So when I create the second note of the major scale as my tonic, all these intervals are now relating back to the second note instead of back to the first note of the G major scale. So now for the Dorian mode, this second note is now a major second compared to the new tonic, when before it was a major third compared to the tonic of the major scale or the Ionian mode. The third note is now a minor third instead of a perfect fourth compared to the major scale. The fourth note is now a perfect fourth instead of a perfect fifth compared to the major scale. The fifth note is now a perfect fifth instead of a major sixth compared to the major scale. The sixth note is now a major sixth instead of a major seven compared to the major scale. And the seventh note is now a minor seventh instead of what was the original tonic. And my new tonic was the major second compared to the original tonic of the major scale. So hopefully you can see that's what's happening with the mode. Even though the mode shares the exact same notes as the parent major scale, all the intervals have changed compared to the new tonic, which give all of the notes a new sound compared to the new tonic, because intervals all have unique sounds. A major second has its unique sound, a minor third has its unique sound, and so on. And so a Dorian mode has a minor third and a minor seventh in it instead of a major third and major seventh that the major scale has in it, which gives it a much darker sound, and this minor third over the major third gives it the minor sound. That's how you create a minor sound. So now the Dorian mode is a minor sounding mode. It's a minor mode, when the major scale or the Ionian mode is obviously a major sound. So the Dorian mode's a darker sound than the major scale or the Ionian mode. And then you would just keep doing that to find all of your modes.